I took a bath on a future. I tried to do the Rich Ryan special. Where are you getting to 20% of your money?
Hello world and welcome back to Gridiron Campbell, the only podcast that puts its money where its mouth is. I'm your host, Rich Ryan, and I'm joined by two members of the collective, Donnie DP Peters and the resident moose himself, Muhammad N. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Listeners, rate and review on your podcatcher of choice. 5 stars only. Like Ty Simpson, who declared for the NFL draft today and who Muhammad N. would, quote, not take, was it, well, you would only take him with a 3rd round pick? Was that the take?
No, I said I wouldn't use a 3rd round pick on him. That dude's a noodle-armed bum.
Love it. Okay, so we're going to get to Muhammad N in a second, but first we have to start with DP. Anybody who listened to my abridged solo pod will know that we did not submit our picks last week in Circa Sports Million, and if you paid attention to the games that we did pick, we were a perfect 5-0 for the second time this season, bringing our record to 51, 38, and 1, which, thankfully, had Donnie submitted our picks, we still would not have cashed. I believe it was by 2 points. We would have missed the money. But DP, what happened, my
guy? I mean, this is going to sound a lot of excuse making, but let me get it out of the way. There are no fucking excuses, okay? I screwed up. I have to own this, right? I have to come face the music. So that's what I'm doing. I messed up. My second time messing up this season. First time with our picks. First time ever fucking up with our picks. Okay, just absolutely ridiculous.
11 seasons. It took you a full 11 seasons to fuck up.
Yeah, and I saw in the Discord, shout out to the Discord, that somebody dropped in the Circa picks, right? And I remember I picked
the Circa tweets that have the picks automated in the Discord. bit.ly/Discord Moose. We got some great stuff in there.
I picked up my phone. I saw it was 6:34 p.m. I went to our group chat between the collective, and I was prepared to yell at you, Rich, and say, buddy, you didn't get me the picks. Then I scroll back, and I'm like, he did get me the fucking picks at like 11:30. And I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. So I'm just like, fuck. Well, guys, I fucking did it. I fucked up. Like, what do you want me to say? So, yeah. And then it turns out, to make matters worse, I'm like thinking, well, can we just lose a couple games? I mean, fuck it. Like, well, whatever. No, win the first one on Saturday. I'm like, great. Now we have a shot at 5-0. Now I'm going to feel like a real asshole. And then what happens? Boom, 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 boom. We're going to fucking Hawaii 5-0. Let's go. And I'm the fucking asshole over here. Okay. A lot of swearing there. Still pissed at myself about it. But it did make me think. By the way, the Circa app is dreadful. Second of all,
not that we're going to make excuses.
Yeah. How many? Well, I actually talked because, shout out to our good friend ODB. David Baker. He's here playing a bunch of tournaments. I
thought you were going to say shout out to our friend Benson because I don't know.
No, he that guy's not a friend for sure. But shout out to ODB. ODB's like, dude, every time I had to sweat the Grandissimo entry, putting it in, I'm like sweating fucking buckets. Like, I'm like, yeah, because the app is dreadful. Like, it's like you like freak out about misclicking. But it did lead me to believe how many times, like, we've been doing these contests for 11 seasons. Oh, by the way, I did fuck up once during Super Contest. Super Contest, when you had to go, it was before the apps, you had to go there, you had to physically put in the picks on the little iPad. They print you out a ticket right there. I screwed up right then and there, and I just went right back to the ticket. I said, whatever. They got Corner Guy over there. He quickly printed us or redid the entry. I went right back to the kiosk and did it. Like, it happened right there. So, shout out Cornegie, friend of the pod from now on. But like, how many people you think screw up every year?
All the time.
It has to be like infinite.
Yeah.
Or like all these proxies. And like, I've heard stories from friends who use proxies. The proxies screw up, but like they have in their contracts that like, it's not really on us. Maybe we'll give you your buy-in back, but like that's it.
Rule number 56. Man. If we blow it, too bad. You sign the terms.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just, It's not a good feeling when you fuck up. Let me tell you that. I felt like shit all fucking weekend. I still feel like shit about it. I'm probably going to feel like shit next season, even though Rich is quitting the pod. But other than that,
not quitting the pod. Not quitting. I'm quitting Survivor. Okay? I'm over it. I will be putting my money in other Survivor contests.
We had a lot to bitch about. We are all old men yelling at Cloud on this podcast now. 2 points out of a cash. It all went to fucking shit just when we were getting hot. Rich is mad at Survivor. Mo didn't get a fucking winner's trophy or winner's photo. Like, it's an effing disaster. Brett can't even show up. He's so mad. I mean, come on.
Well, yeah, the good news. So, two things on the good news front. With that 5-0, 57% on the year for the boys. Not a bad job. Second best all time for the collective. And then, Mohammed N just taking down a bird. What'd you win this weekend?
Won a local $500 trash event for 20 dimes. I mean...
let me tell you the best part about this, Rich. If you look at Mohammed N's Twitter account, you will see that sometime in December, he was promoting people to go out and play said tournament. He's like, hey guys, by the way, this is actually happening, the Horseshoe Holiday Classic or whatever the hell it was called, just so he could just take another $500 from every single person that saw that tweet and decided to show up. Mo decided to juice his own prize pool.
Yeah, the effort level here is so low that I had to do the marketing for my own winning tournament. That's how bad it is over here.
Well, the joke about Mohammed N is that, like Donnie alluded to, they didn't take a winner's photo. Though they did take a winner's photo, evidently, of Mo. But I don't know, was the lighting wrong? It didn't make the light of day. And all the post said was that Mohammed N won a poker tournament. Congrats to Mohammed N. Hold on.
Yeah, but how about Mo? Him and I are texting back and forth about this tournament. And then like 3 hours go by and I'm like, hey, did you win? He goes, oops, yeah. Like, yeah, buddy, you didn't even tell me.
Well, I thought I texted you, but you were getting a lot of updates. I thought I included you, but I forgot. Listen, I started having beers right away.
Absolutely love it. Well, we've entertained long enough. It is divisional weekend, a very fun weekend, I think, and I think a very fun playoffs that are on tap. I'm excited because all 6 games are outdoors this weekend, and there's weather in a bunch of them. No game has less than an 8% chance of precipitation, and this first one has the highest chance, 65% chance of rain in Panthers Rams. Both of those teams make those sounds. Of course, the Carolina Panthers are the representative NFC South team playing a home game as an 8-9 team hosting the Los Angeles Rams. I'm sure we'll hear zero complaints about seeding and fixing the NFL or anything like that heading into this weekend. The Rams are 10.5-point road favorites. 46.5 is the total right now. And according to DraftKings, the handle on this game is actually split 52-48 in favor slightly of Los Angeles. And Mo is the only person here with real American dollars on this contest. I'm shading the dog, but Mo has money on the dog in this game.
Yeah, because I watched these pussies from LA play an outdoor playoff game on the East Coast in bad weather once before, and we all know what that looked like. It was an embarrassment. I had my money on the Rams in that game. They should have probably beat the Eagles, but because they're all cowards who can't play a football game unless they're in a bubble, they melted down. So I don't trust them. I don't believe that they can go into a game with bad conditions and just blow somebody out when it's going to be pouring rain and the poor Rams are just going to have to deal with it. So, yeah, the Rams, I bet the Panthers last time these two teams played, they won, obviously. So they obviously covered. They were massive underdogs in that game. Listen, the Rams significantly outgained them, but they still allowed 5.8 yards per play in that game. I mean, there's only so much you can distance yourself from somebody when you're allowing 5.8 yards per play. And I just don't think this Rams team is as strong as they were when that game came up. So I'm not understanding why the line is bigger than it was then when there's multiple offensive linemen out. And I've been saying all year, Matt Stafford is completely reliant on his environment. And so when that environment starts to fall apart, you see what you've seen the last few weeks. Atlanta kicked their ass. And then you have struggling to pull away from a completely dead Cardinals team. They needed 14 fourth quarter points to win that game by 17. I mean, I just don't know if this Rams team is the Rams team of a month ago, 2 months ago, and I just think 10.5 is too high.
The Rams do have some positive injury news with Devontae Adams practicing in full twice this week, but to your note on the offensive line, Kevin Dotson has not practiced, 2 DNPs with that ankle injury, and a team that runs a ton of 13, a lot of heavy personnel. Terrence Ferguson has not practiced this week either, so that heavy personnel run set multiplicity that McVay likes to utilize could be in trouble there. And then this just goes back to, haven't we seen this story kind of before with the Beastquake, where it's the ultimate nobody believes in us spot where 10.5 point home dogs in the playoffs, right? Like if there's ever a time to circle the wagons, it might be this one. And then on top of that, you get rain, slop. So I was on the fence about this one.
Wind. Going to be windy too, it says.
13 miles an hour, yeah. I was on the fence about this one, but I think it's going to be worth a look going into the weekend. DP doesn't have much on this game, so we'll go to the next one, which is somehow only the third time in playoff history these two teams have met.
Go, Pack, go!
Green Bay are traveling to Chicago to take on the Bears. Green Bay are 1-point favorites, currently 45.5 points on the total, and the majority of tickets, 66%, currently on Chicago. This one also has a chance of freezing rain, 45% at 34 degrees, 14-mile-an-hour winds off of the lake. Mo, you've got real money on the Bears, but let's get DP involved because he is interested on the other side.
Yeah, I know you brought up the weather there, but I mean, this game, I don't think weather necessarily matters as much as the other game, just because both these teams play in that sort of environment, year round for, their entire lifetimes. That said, I don't know. I saw this line and I feel like they're kind of begging you to take the Bears plus money here. I have my concerns as the Bears, or with the Bears as a whole. I just feel like, it's a little bit too much of kind of close game miracles coming in at the end. I do have a lot of concerns about Caleb. Not that Caleb isn't very good. I think that he is. But my concerns are that, I don't know, he tends to have, let's say, 2 to 3 kind of like, what the hell are you doing moments in these games. And I think come playoff time, when you face better competition, when the stakes are raised, all that sort of stuff, like that stuff just magnifies. Those mistakes really magnify. So I'm a bit worried about him. Now, maybe I eat my words there and he's completely ready for the moment. But I look at this Green Bay team and I think they're just kind of all around the better team here. And I think we're going to see that, come this weekend.
I'm so torn about the Packers because even post Parsons, they're such a well-coached team. I believe so much in LaFleur. I believe in Jordan Love, but this team is just like, they haven't played a cohesive football game as a unit for, it seems like, a month now. And they're on this multiple game losing streak where the continuity is not there and they're kind of just holding on for the playoffs. And the idea is that they're just going to flip the switch and they're just going to be the Packers again. And that's what the market is telling us, that this is still the good Packers team and they're just going to show up to a playoff game and perform as intended. And I just can't get there. That being said, you've got this Bears team who plus 22 in the turnover department and has just feasted on good fortune the entire season. Granted, Ben Johnson has been good. This offense has been awesome. The run game has been fantastic. But I don't know. I just think this one is fairly lined. So I'm happy to hear the other side from Mo here.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan Love, I mean, what's he even going to look like here? We haven't seen him play in weeks, and now he's just getting thrust into a difficult situation here with maybe not a great defense on the other side, but definitely the bad weather. I mean, that's going to make it a struggle, right? And Donnie's point about Caleb Williams doing 3 idiotic things a game is fair, but usually one of them turns into a touchdown somehow. So there's that. I just watching that Bears-Packers game the last time, I felt like something clicked late in that game as far as attacking this Packers defense, unfortunately for us. I mean, we should have still obviously got the W and the cover there, but the fact is they did not get a stop down the stretch. I mean, Chicago was marching up and down the field after they were stifled for most of the game, and they just end up with 6.7 yards per play. I mean, that's a monstrous number, right? And just getting Rome back here, I think is going to be big. The Packers, they just looked horrible down the stretch on defense. I mean, absolutely horrible, guys. I mean, we know that. And then I checked the numbers. Weeks 5 through 17, I even count week 18 because we know that was a fake game, but weeks 15 through 17, 30th in defense EPA. I mean, they got creamed by a kind of pathetic Ravens team, you know? And I just... Chicago had 5.8 yards per attempt rushing in that last game against them too. I think they're just buckling at this point under the weight of all these injuries. And I think they're just kind of ready to collapse. But that being said, the bad weather could definitely throw a huge wrench into this game either way. I mean, I don't know who that favors. Josh Jacobs says he's feeling good and he could give this running game a real shot in the arm for Green Bay. But I still think Chicago should be favored. I was stunned. They opened as an underdog, and I think they're going to close minus. It's been kind of inching that way. I hopped on them early for that reason, but yeah, it's kind of frozen in between right now.
The only person upset about Rome Odunze returning is our guy, Derek Wagner, who's been firing Ja'Day Walker anytime touchdown sweats in the Discord. But yeah, Rome Odunze returning is obviously a massive boost to this Bears wide receiver room, who seem to be able to win by their ability to spread the ball as opposed to funneling targets in one direction. So having one more body out there that can make positive plays is only a good thing for Caleb and company. A game where we all have an opinion on, a game that we are fully aligned on, and a game where I can kick things off because it's the first bet I made this week. It is the Jacksonville Jaguars playing host to the Buffalo Bills. Give both of them their fair due.
The Bills make me wanna.
I've got Jags money bet line in the account. It is currently sitting at plus 1.5 in favor of the Bills. Jags home dogs. 51.5 is the total. 54% of the handle is on the Jags. Another one with a little bit of rain in the forecast, 12%. It is Florida, so these things can come and go. A balmy 68 degrees, not playoff football weather, and 10-degree winds, which don't seem to be too much of a problem. I think people are going to look at this game and their knee-jerk reaction is going to be, and we've seen it this week, right? Where, and Mina Kimes is pushing back on this, where it's never been easier for Josh Allen to get through the AFC. There's no Lamar Jackson. There's no Patrick Mahomes. There's no Joe Burrow. Josh Allen should just steamroll every team. And it's just, this isn't how it works, especially a Bills team that is bereft of talent on the defensive side of the ball, and a Jaguars team who have really hit their stride, who have really punished teams that cannot defend. And then looming extremely large over all of this is the fact that Josh Allen has had multiple x-rays in multiple weeks on his foot, and they might be playing coy, but he could be playing with a very serious injury and on a team that is so thin and depends on him so much. Anything that could hamper him or slow him down and not make him play the Superman ball that is necessary for the Bills to have success is problematic. So I think the Jags are kind of a smash. Very happy to get down on it early. And Mo, you too have the Jags.
Yeah, I mean, I dumped on him in the preseason, but this defensive coordinator, something Campanile, he's killing it for the Jags. I mean, we saw how fiendish he could be with his schemes when he, I mean, anytime you make Patrick Mahomes look silly, you've done something pretty amazing, because I don't ever see him make mistakes like that. And he was pulling out stuff that had Mahomes bewildered. So, I mean, that just doesn't ever happen in football. And then you just look at the final rankings of this Jags defense, and they're good, I guess. I mean, this is just a team that just did well all year. I mean, they, especially against the run, they landed top 7 EPA per play and success rate. And we know that modern day Josh Allen is the James Cook merchant, and he's just going to come out and try to hand the ball off and win the game. And I don't think that's going to work here against this Jags unit. This could be better coach, better quarterback getting points at home, folks. I mean, Josh Allen can't hit a wide open guy to win the game for us.
All right. This is just
slow down. Okay. I will fully give you better coach. Okay. Quarterback? Come on, man.
Pump the brakes.
What's Josh Allen done? Do something. He can't even hit a wide open guy to win the game.
I mean, they are 3rd in offense EPA. 6th.
That's James Cook's fault, bro.
I was gonna say 6th in passing success rate, 4th in passing EPA. Josh Allen is still him, but everyone is pointing to the New England Patriots as to the schedule, which I will in a second. They've played the easiest schedule in football, but the Buffalo Bills have played the 2nd easiest schedule in football, so they too have feasted on bad teams. The Jaguars are not a bad team. DP, put a pin on Duval.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Jags have played pretty well for the last, half of the season for sure, if not a little bit longer than that. I know we kind of knocked them on this podcast at the beginning, just where they were kind of getting lucky with some turnovers, things were breaking their way and whatever, but they really rounded into form, and I think you got to give that to Liam Cohen for really getting his guys going in the right direction. The Jacoby Myers addition has been great for them, where you wouldn't think that that type of player, that type of transaction is I don't know, in a way, I'm going to say this and it is a bit hyperbole, but offense altering, it just really kind of opened up things and unlocked things for that offense. I mainly just have concern about this Buffalo team. If there's any sort of resistance to Josh Allen, I have kind of issues with the offense being able to move the ball as freely or as willingly as they might need to against this Jaguars team. And then I always have concerns about their defense. I don't know. I feel like people are just being yeah, it's the Bills. All these good quarterbacks, Rich, as you mentioned, Lamar, Mahomes, etc. They're all out of the playoffs. So Josh is going to steamroll through this. This is his time. This is the Jaguars. This isn't the Jaguars that were whatever they were, 4-13 or whatever it was last year that are total. This team is a pretty legit team. They're playing at home. I mean, I gotta the coaching too. Also, if something happens in this game and I need one coach to be more aggressive, who am I gonna trust in that spot? It isn't fucking McDermott. No shot. That guy's gonna turtle up in an instant, like he always does. So I think this game will be pretty close, but I gotta go with the home team here.
Hot takey, but if the Bills lose, would you can McDermott?
Snap gone. Snap gone.
Would you can him? Would you go after Harbaugh? I know generally in the Discord, Donnie's not been in the streets to discuss Harbaugh, but I think Mo and I are on the side that Harbaugh's kind of a little overrated. But I do think this is the type. I wouldn't hire Harbaugh if I needed to build a team. I don't think Harbaugh is a builder, but I do think he is kind of a sustainer. And if you give him good talent, he's going to have a positive output. So
part of the problem with I think some of the coaching changes that I have is I don't really see like the Liam Cohen or the Mike Vrabel out there right now. Like, and so I will tell you, and I think I even said it on this pod a couple weeks ago, like I would get rid of Harbaugh simply for a change of scenery. I think it's needed in that situation. Right. But I also don't necessarily know who I'm like bringing in, like who is the hot guy. I just kind of look at I don't see, Gus Johnson or whoever, like I just don't see that this time around. So,
Gus Johnson.
Sorry. You know what I meant.
Rise and fire!
Yeah, maybe they'll call him. Who the hell cares? Let's go.
Yeah, Mo, you were saying you were listening to the Athletic Football Show, and the offensive genius brain drain is almost coming to an end here.
Yeah, it's tough to see where the next... I mean, you like Kubiak. I mean, I've been hearing people throw out this guy, Nathan Shield. I literally remember watching him at Illinois. I mean, that was like 10 years ago. Like... But what's he done? Like he's done nothing, right? Like he's called plays for a year. I don't know what that guy's done. People are just reaching now. So like this might be a situation where it's like the left-handed versus right-handed pool of pitching talent where you have to dig deeper into the lefties. That's why there's 91 mile an hour throwing left-handers and no 91 mile an hour throwing right-handers in the bigs. So, like, I think they should just take some of the layups like McDonald and these defensive guys who are looking good, I mean, that's working out, so.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it seems like you need somebody who's going to change one side of the ball, right? Who's going to – we're in an era of the guys calling plays or having the biggest impact, right? And the CEO types are leaving the league, and the ones that are being hired are struggling. Like my guy, Aaron Glenn, unfortunately. Let's get to Niners, Eagles. And I have to start with DP because I'm flabbergasted at the note that he sent when I told these fellows to send over their prep. It starts Niners plus 4.5. Screw the Eagles. What a heel turn.
What? No, I've gone a little bit flip-floppy at times. I've been against the Eagles in certain moments, and I think that this is a moment. Listen, there's going to be a lot that's going to be made about this 49ers defense and how people just tend to kind of just move the ball up and down the field against them, which probably will happen to some extent in this game. That said, is there a better offense that you can face if you're that Niners defense? The team that takes forever to move the ball basically runs 3 plays the whole damn time. This offense doesn't really like excite me. Big plays, lot of movement, like whatever. So I think the 49ers offense is going to be able to get theirs. I kind of like what they bring to the table. So if you're a 4.5 point dog and you think your offense can move the ball and you're going to have to score points because of how bad your defense is, I like my defense being able to, I guess, contain in Eagles offense versus if I'm playing one of these better, more high-powered, faster-moving offenses, that's where I would have my concern if I'm the 49ers on the defensive side. So that's where I like coming at this one. And I just feel like this game just sets up to just be like, last-second field goal, that's the winner. It's just, this is that type of game.
I gave the line there. I buried it a bit because I wanted to get into DP's heel turn. The Eagles are 4.5 point home favorites. 44.5 is the total. 62% of the handle is on Something Hurts and them boys. And Mo agrees with Real American Dollars on the Niners.
Yeah, I'm glad I waited a day for this one. This was 3.5 and then popped out to 4.5 early in the week. I think there's maybe even some 5s out there. I took some 4.5. Yeah, I mean, we just watched a trash bag Buffalo defense put these guys in a box. I mean, why can't the 49ers just get a few stops in this game? That's probably all they need to cover this number. I mean, I know they're bad. I know they're injured, and I know they're even more injured now than they were coming into this week, but I think that this is going to be kind of an ugly game. Could be another just low-scoring affair, to be honest here. I just think every Eagles game is just a hideous slog at this point, and I can't lay a number like this with this Eagles team, man. They'll stop themselves. That's just what it comes down to. This Eagles team is going to stop themselves because they can't run the ball, and then it just comes down to a mediocre passer. This is definitely better coach, better quarterback getting points, and it just comes down to the 49ers moving the ball at some points against an Eagles defense that is very good, but we've seen get smashed on the ground. And now George Kittle back will help that quite a bit since he's such a good blocker. And they just need to put some drives together because, like, what are the Eagles going to do? Score more than 20 points? I mean, I haven't seen that in how long? I mean, I don't believe in this Eagles team, and I have to take these points with the Niners.
In comes George Kittle. Out goes Trent Williams, though. Missed week 18. Hasn't practiced yet this week. I think the under 44.5 is the best look in this game. I parlayed it with Saquon Barkley carries over 18.5. He's been averaging 20 a game the last 4 weeks. Eagles are 25th in situation neutral pace. Niners are 19th. This just seems like a super grindy game. I think I'm getting selfish by adding the Saquon carries in there, but I think the Eagles are going to turn in hand against a solid defense that this is what he does. He plays soft up front, gives up rushing yards between the 20s, and then bend but don't break in the red zone. He's done this forever. He's going to do it again in this game. It doesn't help that the Niners have 0 healthy linebackers who don't bear down on the running game. So I think it's going to be a healthy dose of Saquon, and I think points are going to be a premium in this game. So that's my favorite look here. And then, I mean, all of that does also point to Niners plus 4.5. Under on the total correlates with the dog, but something in me just can't, I don't know. I couldn't get there on Niners. I'm very worried about them if they don't have Trent Williams, but this does feel like whoever wins this game wins so on a last second field goal. And if that's the case, then 4.5 is going to be the way right side. All right. Chargers at Patriots. The blinders are back on for DP. Patriots are minus 3.5, total of 46. Slight ticket total in favor of New England at 56%. 28% chance of freezing rain. 36 degrees in Foxborough. And I wanted to bring this up because the schedule, I've been talking about the schedule all year. So I looked at historical DVOA. So since the merger, the Patriots have played the third easiest schedule in NFL history. And there have been 11 teams who have played a schedule of minus 10% DVOA or lower. 2 of them have reached the Super Bowl. One of them won, was the 99 Rams. So do I think the Patriots have the potential to play to the team that is showing me these green numbers in front of me? Number 1 in offense EPA, number 9 in DVOA. Do I think they can reach those numbers? I think it's within the range of outcomes. But I just have a healthy amount of skepticism because I've not seen it. This feels like the Golden State Warriors when they went on their first championship run. Can a small team that shoots threes, do it, right? You don't know until you actually see it. So I have not bet the Chargers yet because there's no way in hell this is ever going to touch a flat 3. So if I'm going to bet Chargers, I'm going to wait to see if this moves out to 4 or 4.5 and get some extra points. So I'm in no rush, but I'm not interested in laying it with the Patriots. DP, are you a Patriots fan? Has this MVP Drake May season excited you even like 1%?
No.
That's a no. That's a no. If you're like waiting that long to answer.
The part that excites me is that if I want, and you're a good example of this, Rich, my dear friend, I could pull out the troll card and say, man, the Patriots are back. What's it like, Mr. Jets fan? Like, what's it like? It just takes a couple years and then they just find the guy. Second year, he's going to win the MVP. I mean, what's it like over there? You got God knows what at quarterback. You got Aaron Glenn.
Second time in 5 years.
The only thing Aaron Glenn is good for is that freaking meme when he's running down the sideline doing the dance. Like, that's the only thing. I mean, yeah, exactly. Which is a great clip, by the way. But, like, I mean, all these other teams, it's just an effing disaster. Like, and so I'm just like, I could be over here beaking about the Patriots, but I honestly don't really give a shit that too much anymore, so I don't care.
The other thing is that the biggest weakness, obviously, for the Chargers is their lack of tackles, but they've played with these backup tackles for long enough that there's some better offensive line cohesion, and where the Patriots succeed in rushing the quarterback, where they do, they're 24th in pressure rate, 26th in adjusted sack rate, so they're not that great. Where they do have successes up the middle. So it's not even like the Patriots have the horses to take advantage of LA's deficiencies. Mo, what you got? Looks like you're leaning New England, but no bet yet.
Yeah, I think this line is right. I'm definitely concerned about New England's offense, specifically against a pretty good defensive mind and mentor here, who just seems to do a very good job every week of preparing this team, right down to last week in a pathetic, just dead game that I was hoping the Chargers would cover, but they did not. Still putting up a fight even in that situation. I mean, I do think this could be a reality check in that sense for the Patriots, just not having faced these sorts of defenses. But that being said, what about this Chargers offense? This team was pathetic on offense down the stretch. I mean, their last 4 games, they had one good game, and it was against the Cowboys defense that quit. I mean, other than that, they scored 19 points against the Eagles. I'm not even counting this Denver game, by the way. 19 points against the Eagles in regulation, and then that shouldn't have even happened, if we're being honest. Like, they just had one big play, basically, and then couldn't move the ball after that. They scored another 16 against the zombie Chiefs. They scored 16 against Houston. I mean, these guys are struggling to put 20 points on the board. And I mean, the Patriots, say what you want about their schedule, but I mean, their quarterback is playing at an elite level. So I just think 20 points is a pretty low bar. So something's going to have to give here. And I think the Patriots around 3.5, 4 is probably right. But I'm excited for this game because Drake May is a prospect I was excited for, and he had a great season, and I want to see him face this Chargers defense. So this should be fun.
The Chargers, you skipped one game where the Chargers put up a 34 spot against the Cowboys.
No, I said that was their only good game against the Dallas defense that quit.
Sorry. The Patriots are quietly 25th in pass defense DVOA. This is all going to come down to, can the Chargers protect? Can Vrabel find a way to take advantage of this Chargers offensive line, which is a mash unit? Can they protect? Can the Chargers get any sort of pass game going? I think this is kind of a sneaky over game because, I mean, Drake May is awesome, right? Like, Kevin Minter is very good, but we know passing offense matters, and good passing offense is going to beat passing defense. So I think my guy Herbert can put some stuff together, and I think this might be a little more high scoring than people think. But yeah, I got nothing on this game. No action pending. I do have action pending on the Monday night game. And I am on the fish side. I've got the Houston Texans -3 in Pittsburgh. DP shaking his head over there because he's all in on the voodoo. Total of 39.5. I am seeing that the handle is only 52% in favor of Houston, but most folks that I am seeing are very much in favor of the Texans. Somewhat of an anti-Tomlin take because it took all of the fortune in the world for them to even be in this spot, to be in the playoffs with a player falling down on a touchdown and then a missed field goal by something loop. And yes, DK is coming back, but what are the Steelers going to do on offense against this Texans defense? And on defense themselves, Lamar posted a 0.2 EPA per play game. There were massive plays to be had downfield for Lamar. Now you've got Nico Collins and CJ Stroud in his third season, a guy who has played in the playoffs previously, coming into town. So, yeah, I think this should be north of 3. I know our good friend Steven Andrus, DraftKings somehow opened a juice 2.5 in his area. Congratulations on grabbing that one. So, yeah, I like Houston quite a bit in this spot. DP, you do not. Shaking your head over there, supporting the damn voodoo.
I mean, I'm literally just betting voodoo. I mean, we all know the Texans are the better team. And like you said, I could not tell you in one instance how the Steelers are going to score points, move the ball, do anything. But somehow they're going to have 21 points at the end of this stupid game. Some way, we're going to be in the Discord. You're going to be like, I knew I shouldn't have gone against voodoo. I just knew I shouldn't have done it. What? I mean, I'm not saying they're going to win. I just want them to cover a field goal here. Come on.
Mo, no bet
This
here.
This is the most ridiculous thing ever. Voodoo. Voodoo is the most ridiculous thing ever. This shit is every year. And at some point, you just got to freaking just bow down and just be like, yeah, you are the god. I am sorry, sir.
The way he was.
Well, didn't we do that last week?
Yeah, we did. We had voodoo on the Sklansky card.
Yeah, we went 5-0. Good for nothing, but we went 5-0.
Mo, no action here, but you are leaning Houston.
Yeah, I mean, the line is moving the other way, like you said. It actually was Texans 3.5 early in the week. Houston is just playing somewhat reasonable on offense. That's what this comes down to. And just CJ Stroud is a player that I've watched all of his career, and I just think he handles edge pressure relatively well. Like, he's very good at stepping up in the pocket when the pocket is collapsing and just trying to find something to do with the ball. It was a couple years ago when the Ravens blew up the middle of the line and just had him rolling out that he just couldn't do anything. So I think he can mitigate the Steelers' advantage up front somewhat. And I watched this Texans defense against the Chiefs in a spot where the other team couldn't complete a pass downfield, and I just watched them fly forward and blow up every single player who was about to catch the ball over and over. And I just know that's what Rodgers wants to do. I don't think this spineless dump-off merchant is going to be able to do anything here, okay? That's all he's going to want to do, and I don't think it's going to work because I watched the Chiefs try to do it, and it didn't work. So you have to challenge these guys and make them defend the whole field, and I don't think Rodgers does that. So that's why I'm leaning Houston. But that being said, like Donnie said, this is just going to be a hideous, low-scoring game. And if Houston covers, it's probably going to be like 19-10 or something like that. So I don't really want to bet Houston because covering 3 and winning are two very different things in a game between teams like this.
The point you make about the Texans flying over the field is very apt for this matchup because I don't know how many times I have to see these teams that play on their heels against Rodgers, eyes on the quarterback, when we know what they want to do. They just want to throw to running backs in the flat and screens. Like, play downhill, rush to the ball, and force these guys to throw the ball downfield. We know the Texans are going to do that because they do this every week. They fly to the ball, a lot of times with reckless abandon. But the Steelers are not the type of team that are going to be capable of taking advantage of this.
When I was at final table of that tournament, this guy I was playing with, he's like, I got a prop bet for you, Mo. I'm like, okay, hit me. Feeling good. You know, I'm winning some pots. I've got chips. He's like, Kenny Gainwell over 4.5 receptions. Like, okay, I checked it. It's minus like 135, 4.5. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to tail this guy. I said I would tail him. I put it in. I'm not watching the game because I'm busy winning the tournament. I get to the bar for the second half, open the box score. He's got 7 catches. He's leading the Steelers. I'm like, wow, that guy nailed it. Should have just laddered it. I mean, Rodgers just wants to do spineless dump-offs all day. That's what he wants to do.
You know how disgusting it is? Kenneth Gainwell, they voted their team MVP this year. That's how disgusting.
Kenny Gaines was the man. He was making plays. Like, he was turning these stupid dump-offs into 20-yard touchdowns. I don't know how, but he was doing it.
That is wild card weekend. Do you guys have any outstanding futures or any futures you're interested in for the entirety of the playoffs? I'm sweating this Niners bet. I had a promo where bet $50 on any team to win the Super Bowl, and you would get $10 per win in addition to your future bet. So I bet Niners at 18-1 to win the Super Bowl. So I've already made the money back in their wins, and I've got that outstanding. And then I fired one fun bet because I got a feeling that the playoffs might be a little chalky, and especially in the NFC. You said you thought the light came on for I forget what quarterback you were talking about, where something changed and you thought that they figured it out.
Well, I was saying second half of that Bears-Packers game, they just started moving the ball.
Yeah. I feel the same way about Sam. No one has dumped on Sam more than I have, but I feel like the light came on in that second game against the Rams, and he was absolute nails in that contest. And I now think that the Seahawks have a shot to win this thing. So I put $2 American on Nick Emenwari to win Super Bowl MVP at 400-1. And the reason being is that McDonald uses this guy in every which way in that defense. He's kind of his Kyle Hamilton in that defense, where he's putting him down in the box, he's blitzing with him, he's putting him in coverage. And I think that type of usage lends itself to somebody who can find a sack or find a ball in the air and make a play. So just a fun little wager, but mostly I'll be sweating the Niners to get this home. Do you fellas have any futures that you're sweating?
I took a bath on a future. I'll tell you that.
What's that?
I tried to do the Rich Ryan special. Where are you getting to 20% of your money or whatever the hell it was, and pick the Bills to win the division?
A bridge jumper. Yeah, I had Bills too. No. I thought you meant like a minus 1,000.
No, but like, come on. The Bills should win that division. They shouldn't even try. Like, this is just ridiculous.
Yeah, if I run the tape back, maybe I will. Maybe I'll insert it right here. But yeah, I think we talked about this being.
I said the Bills would win the division by 5 games.
They were like minus 400, and we were like, why aren't they like what the Patriots used to be like? They should be like minus 700, 800. Like, what is going on? Of course, eat our words because good God. But I mean, Jesus.
Oh, speaking on the other side of the coin, Mo, tell the people about your Nico Collins dub.
Oh yeah, that was a fun one. I mean, yeah, I had Nico Collins under 1,125.5, and he finished 8 yards short and didn't play in the last game, or 9 yards, I guess. So we got that one home. We deserved it. There were some bad beats this year, but the real winner is Teteroa McMillan, Rookie of the Year, minus 1,000 now. We got some 16-1. We nailed that one pre-flop. That'll make up for the Bills. We needed that to make up for the Bills.
Anything else? Anybody? Any futures you're sweating?
If you made me pick one Super Bowl team, I would pick the Jags right now. I think they're in the neighborhood of 13, 14-1, something like that. But I'm not going to bet it. I did tail old Matthew Clark on JSN Super Bowl MVP. We got 25-1. It's already moving down in our favor now, 22-1. All I know is if the Seahawks are plus 350 to win the Super Bowl, there is absolutely no way JSN can be 20+1 because
that's what I went into my bet. It's like no Nick Emenwari, if they make the Super Bowl, is not going to be 100-1 to win MVP, right? Or whatever, 120-1 to win
400, right?
But what I'm saying is combined, if we get there, if the Super Bowl was tomorrow, Emenwari would not be 100-1 to win the MVP. It would be like 80. 70 to 1.
Yeah, and like, what's the game where Darnold has a good game and JSN doesn't have like 150 yards? Has that even happened this year? I mean, I don't even think that's happened this year. So it's just like, this is one of those spots where the market has gone so far towards the quarterbacks because it keeps being Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. And, we had the Jalen Hurts Superman game, and it's just like, it's just so used to these guys who are just the absolute earth-shattering, superstars are just in the Super Bowl. That wouldn't be, the name brand value just wouldn't be there. Nobody's just going to be like, oh, it's going to be Sam Darnold because the Seahawks are in the Super Bowl. That's just stupid. This is not the same sort of situation.
Yeah, I feel the exact same way. And it's tough to pick a back there because K9 and Charbonnet split the load so much that they don't make sense. The tight ends don't make sense. So that's ultimately why I just threw a dart at somebody on defense, but we're on a similar track. All right. Very excited. Playoffs ahead. Best of luck to everybody's betting ventures. Follow these guys on Twitter at Donnie_Peters, at Mo Nuwara, NUWWARAH. I'm at Rich T. Ryan. We'll see you guys next week for Divisional Weekend. Peace. Out.